Hello everybody, hope you're well. In my last video I asked you questions for a banana Q&A and I got a lot of questions, and especially on Instagram they've got this new feature where you ask a question. I want to get through as many as I can, so this is going to be quickfire banana Q&A as much as I can. Let's go. Leah asks, Hiya Leah, how are you? Sam, Cheryl, Lara, I'm just grand, thanks, how are you? How are your blisters? They're okay, they're getting better. I don't know if you can say that. How's Neil? I don't know. How much wood would a woodcock chop if a woodcock could chop wood? I think you said that wrong. Damn, I did it wrong. Yes, you did. If it's yellow, do you let it mellow? What? Do you like to party? Yes. It's coming home. Is it coming home? No, it didn't come home. Coco Jojo, you answered your own question. When are you coming to the US, Arkansas, Texas, Japan, Sri Lanka, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Saudi Arabia? When am I going to Australia next? I would love to go to all of these places, literally every single one of them, and I'd love to go back to the ones that I've already been to. Currently, no plans for any of those, but who knows when they'll come up. I like to do things fairly last minute. Any place you'd like to go that intimidates you? Ooh, that's a good question. Do you know what? I've always had this like little inkling to want to go to Kazakhstan. It looks absolutely beautiful. I've seen lots of like videos of people cycling through the mountains there and it looks incredible, but yeah, I don't know what it is that just terrifies me a little bit just about the idea of going to Kazakhstan. I don't know why. Where is your next destination and when? I am next off to Greece in the middle of August. I'm very excited. Have you got any long-term travel plans coming up? Where do you see yourself living long-term? Favourite place you visited? Where do you want to travel this year? So the biggest thing that I can think of is that I really want to get my dive master in Mexico or my dive instructor maybe. Yeah, really want to do that on the Yucatan Peninsula. Don't know if it's going to be the end of this year or at the beginning of this year, but that also answers Becca's question. Do you want to be a dive master? Have plans to do your next PADI level? 100%. That's big bucket list for me. Where would your dream trip be if money was no object? Where is your dream destination? Which country would you move to? If you had to pick a country to live in, which one would you choose? Okay, so my dream trip if money was no object would be Palau, which I have talked about in videos before. It was like my first ever bucket list like destination, but it's just one of those countries where I'm just like, that would just be so expensive, the whole thing, to make it feasible. So yeah, probably Palau or Bora Bora, but I'm saving that for my honeymoon, I reckon. And which country would I move to? Australia. Where is somewhere you haven't gone yet but are dying to go to? I mean, there are obviously so many places, but I think Philippines would be at the top of that list. And HSB also asks, what places would you really recommend to visit in Europe? Because I'm planning a 3-week/month-long trip. That's a very big difference around Europe. I really liked Copenhagen. Budapest is possibly my favourite. The French and Swiss Alps, 100%, and also pretty much everywhere in Italy that I went, I absolutely loved. Joshua Star, can you ask me a question? What is your job? How much do you love noodles? Like 70%? Don't have them a lot of the time, but would eat. I'm wondering, how old are you? I'm 24 and I'm 25 in September. What do you do to stay so fit? It seems when I travel I can never keep a good routine. When I'm traveling I can't keep a good routine either, but just try and walk as much as you can. If you're in a hot country you're gonna be sweating off weight anyway and look more lean. That's what I find anyway. I find it more difficult in a colder country, but just try and walk as much as you can because it's impossible to properly get a routine going when you're traveling. Did you go to uni or do you plan to study? Nope and nope. How do you apply for jobs or how do you get into jobs on other countries? The same way you would at home. I just always have my CV to hand. I mean, I don't anymore because I work online, but when I was traveling, just always having a CV on a USB, on an email, and going to temp agencies, going into places and just trying to meet people, just doing something about it. Jobs don't come into your lap ever. Well, maybe sometimes they do. Are you still doing travel vlogs? Will you be doing more travel vlogs, tours around the UK? 100% I'm still gonna be doing travel vlogs. Just because I said I wanna do more lifestyle stuff now, doesn't mean that I'm ditching the travel. When I do go traveling, 100% still gonna be making travel vlogs. And yes, I would like to do more travel around the UK. Which one place would you like to visit in the UK that you haven't before? And aside from London, where in the UK should an American visit? So I really wanna explore more of Scotland, particularly like the Isle of Skye. I think an American, I think you should go to Bath. Bath is really cool. Do you like doing meetups? Will there be any more in the future? Are you up for meetups? Really enjoyed the one meetup that I ever did. I haven't planned any more. I find it a bit stressful, the thought of planning a meetup, but if something comes up which I think is a good opportunity, I'll definitely go ahead and do it, and I'll let you guys know. Favourite place you visited? New Zealand. Favourite place in Australia? I've gotta say Perth. Any hidden gems in Oz to visit? Currently in Sydney. Or if you haven't already, head down to the Figure 8 pools in the Royal National Park. It's really cool. What's your favourite country in Central America? Guatemala. And Becca, how much money do you recommend for a month in Central America? Watch this video. What's your favourite South American country for backpacking? I've never been to South America. What's your least favourite travel experience? It was a night in Bangkok where we had no aircon, and I don't think I've sweated so much in my entire life. It was so uncomfortable and awful. What are the most underrated and overrated places you have travelled to? I like that question. Underrated, Guatemala. Overrated, Paris. Have you got Snapchat? Why didn't you add my Snapchat back? I deleted my Snapchat. I'm sorry, I don't use it anymore. Would you recommend becoming a blogger to other travellers? 100%. Not just in the hope that you'll one day become like a famous blogger, but like it's such a good way to document your travels, and your friends and family can read it, and it's something that you can look back on, and you can look at your pictures and you can talk about your feelings and how you thought at the time, and it's a really good way to document your travels for sure. Best tips on making travel montages. Choose a really good piece of music that you like and feel reflects the destination that you were in, and put shots together that are similar. So if you've got shots that are predominantly blue, put them together. If you've got shots panning right, put all of those together. If you've got just still shots, put those all next to each other. And if you can, try and make those shots reflect the different points in the music. So if there's a slower part of the music, have it a slower paced clip. Or if you're doing loads of action things, make that on the beat drop, you know? Do you know what I mean? What is your best strategy to grow a YouTube channel? Make content that you think that other people are going to be searching for. In a word, does YouTube revenue play any part in helping fund your trips? Sure. How do you set a duration for your big travels? I mean, how do you know, like, how many weeks will be enough before leaving? Got any tips on planning an around the world trip? Watch this video. Is backpacking around Europe a good first solo travel? I have not backpacked Europe solo. I would say no, personally, unless you're doing a tour. I would go somewhere like Asia or Australia if it's your first time. Personally, but that's subject to people's opinion. Do you believe in any conspiracy theories? What's your most important? I actually don't. I'm not into conspiracy theories at all. I just don't really. Yeah, no. Did you get that poll full yet? No. Do you have a boyfriend? Will you marry me? Will you marry me? When are you and Shu going to get married? You look good together. No, don't ask me things about my love life. It's a sensitive subject. To be or not to be? To be. What is the essence of happiness? I think to be content with your own position, not wanting more, not wanting less, just being content. Would rather have green beans instead of arms or eat a bowl of poo every morning? Green bean. I'd rather eat a bowl of poo every morning. What's the latest Netflix show you binge watched? Riverdale. I watched the whole thing. I got halfway into 13 Reasons Why, but I haven't finished it yet. How old are you when you first travelled solo, and what is the age you recommend? The first age I travelled solo was 19, and whenever you feel ready, if I'm honest, that could be 18. 18 is definitely not too young. There's so many people that do it, but if you don't feel ready at that time, then whenever you feel ready. Favourite coffee brand? Can I say Pret Coffee? I often go there. I like it. What songs do you like at the moment? What sort of music do you like? Blah, blah, blah. I like indie folk music if I'm being fancy, but for the most part, just any pop music on the radio. What are your most used apps? Definitely Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, yeah. And the YouTube Creator Studio. Is solo traveling lonely? Do you make friends while solo traveling? Are you an introvert? Have a look at this video. Am I an introvert? I actually think like I'm a mix, because I gain energy from being by myself, but then I get a bit bored and then I need to be with other people, and I gain energy from that, but then I need my space as well. So I feel like I'm a mixture of an introvert and extrovert. Where do you find your freelance jobs? Would you consider doing temp work again? What type of freelance do you do? How do you go about getting your clients? So I do video editing and video producing. I'm very lucky. All my clients have come to me because they've all seen my work online or know me in person, and they want me to do work for them, which is great. There are websites where you can get freelance jobs. I think peopleperhour.com is one of the big ones. And would I go back to doing temp work? At the moment, no. I would probably try and avoid it because I know I can get better money from doing my video producing work and I really enjoy that. However, if I had no clients and I didn't want to do any sponsored videos for YouTube at the time, yes, I'd definitely go back to doing temp work. Would you rather travel everywhere you want in a year for free, but after that you can't travel again, or keep traveling the way you are? Keep traveling the way I am. I think if I could never travel again after 1 year, yeah, no, I'd get so bored for the rest of the time, wouldn't I? How do you always have so much energy? Is it just something for the cameras, or are you just a wonderfully positive, energetic person in general? I am generally a very energetic and positive person. I don't film when I'm not really feeling good, so you don't see as much when I'm having a more calm moment. But no, I think generally and on the whole, I am a very energetic and positive person. Probably more than most people, I don't know. What was your biggest fear when you started traveling first time? Now that you have traveled so much, do you ever get scared before next trip? Yeah, I 100% still get scared, and I think it's just apprehension of the unknown. Will I make friends? What are the hostels gonna be like? Will I even like the destinations? Am I gonna be okay? Just all of those were what I was feeling before I left for the first time, and I still get those feelings now, even though it's all okay in the end. It's funny, I think it's just natural to be apprehensive when you're going somewhere that you've never been before. I'm going to Australia in September, and I was thinking of going to Sydney first and work there for a while and then start traveling around Australia, but which one would you recommend? Travel first, then work, or work first, then travel? I think if you have the flexibility and you can literally choose between one or the other, I would travel first and then work, because then I would choose along my travels which place I like the best, and then I'd go work there. As you backpack New Zealand, how did you actually travel around? Did you get on buses, hitchhike, or drive around? First time I travelled in New Zealand was on the Kiwi Experience, which is a group tour bus essentially, but it is hop on, hop off. And the second time I travelled around New Zealand was in a car, just staying in motels and hostels and camping. And the final question from Megan Mietta: how do you recommend people find their voice/style when it comes to making vids and vlogging? I think just be yourself and create the content that you would want to watch and the stuff that you think that you can bring to the table. What qualities do you have that most other people don't? Whether it's your personality, where maybe you have loads and loads of advice and tips on a certain topic, but definitely find your niche, find something that you're good at. Make videos that make you excited and the kind of thing that you think you might want to watch on YouTube if you were someone else, which is, we're kind of referring to like what I said in my last video about I want to make videos that inspire and motivate other people. I don't know how much this video will have inspired and motivated you, but that's what I like to watch on YouTube, and so that's the kind of thing I want to create. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. I'm really sorry if I didn't get around to answering your question. I literally got so many and I didn't manage to answer every single one. But thank you. If you did ask me a question, I hope it won't be so long before I film another banana Q&A. I am getting my productivity back, guys. I'm getting back on track and I feel really good and I feel really positive at the moment. And there's gonna be a lot more general videos coming, which is great. Anyway though, I will see you in the next video. Bye!